Hello, good evening and welcome. You've just entered the arena. I am Michael Coren, whether you like it or not, and thank you for joining me. Now, another big trial at the Human Rights Commission, this time dating back to last April the 1st. Now, that day is known, of course, as April Fool's Day, and well, frankly, it's dreaded. Yeah, it's dreaded because for the foolish throughout the world, and especially in Canada, this one day of the year is particularly offensive. They are humiliated, marginalised and degraded. As you probably know, 3 separate provincial human rights commissions, as well as the federal body in Ottawa, have already accepted official complaints, and the hearings are due to begin shortly. Look, fools have suffered long enough, and they're just not going to take it anymore. We're fools, we're here, get used to it. One of the complainants to the Human Rights Boards released his statement to the media last Wednesday, and I believe it makes for compelling and deeply emotional reading. Quote, "I do not remember when I first realised I was a fool. Perhaps I was born that way. I've certainly always felt foolish. I also know that for many years now I have been treated unequally in society and sometimes forced to try to hide my foolishness. People have denied me jobs and insulted me for being a fool. April the 1st, however, is worse. It's like some black mass for the foolish community when all of our critics and enemies are given freedom to attack us." Now, since then, I should emphasise both the complainant and the Human Rights Commissions involved have removed the word black from the document in case it offends the black community in any way. But the word mass has been allowed to remain because Roman Catholics, like all Christians, are not a specified protected group under Canada's human rights legislation, and thus, whatever may be said about them, they cannot officially be insulted. What is perhaps most hurtful about all this is that some people think the entire response is an overreaction and that fools and so many other Canadians have lost all sense of perspective and sense of humour. People say we want to stifle free speech and contrary opinion. Not at all. We merely want to silence people who disagree with us. There's nothing amusing about being a fool. Well, perhaps there is, but that's not the point. Look, fools of the world unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains and your funny hats. Remember the great poem. First they came for the fools, but I was not a fool, so I said nothing. Then they came for the fairly stupid, but I was not fairly stupid, so I said nothing. Then they came for the slightly silly, but I was not slightly silly, so I said nothing. Then they came for me, and there was nobody left to speak out. New alliances are being formed with numerous groups. Easter bunnies now refuse to be objectified. Tooth fairies will not fly around just to entertain the ruling class. And witches are burning broomsticks in protest against the corporate exploitation of Halloween and the lack of fair trade policies of the international candy conglomerates. Your right to speak is my hurt feelings. Your right to joke is my tears in my bedroom. Your pretend newspaper stories are my being offended. And everybody in the world has the right to never, ever be offended. Ever. Think about it long and hard. If you enjoy your freedom, thank a fool. Better still, hug one. And tell that fool there is no shame in being an idiot.